Welcome to my channel Super Rare Coins. Today is best top 3 coins. Please don't skip this video, so let's get it started. The 1978 United States quarter dollar is one of the later issues of the long-running Washington quarter series, a cornerstone of American coinage and a classic symbol of the nation's heritage. Struck at the Denver Mint represented by the mint mark, D. This coin embodies the era's craftsmanship, economic stability, and design continuity. T represents a period just before the U.S. Mint transitioned toward modern commemorative and state-themed quarters in the following decades. The 1978 D quarter is a small but meaningful piece of U.S. history, bridging the post-Vietnam, post-silver era with the rise of modern numismatics. The Washington quarter series was first introduced in 1932, originally intended as a one-year commemorative coin to mark the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth. The design proved so successful and beloved that it replaced the standing Liberty quarter permanently. The design was created by John Flanagan, a sculptor known for his classical style and attention to realism. His portrait of George Washington was based on a famous bust by Jean-Antoine Houdon, created in 1786, considered one of the most accurate likenesses of the first president. By the time the 1978 D quarter was minted, the design had been in use for over 45 years, though its original purpose as a commemorative had long since passed. The Washington quarter had become a national icon. It had already gone through a major change in 1965, when rising silver prices forced the U.S. Mint to abandon the traditional 90% silver composition used from 1932-1964. Starting in 1965, the coin was made of a copper-nickel-clad composition, which continued through 1978. Thus, the 1978 D quarter belongs to the clad quarter era, characterized by its metallic resilience and widespread circulation. Physically, the 1978 D quarter dollar is composed of an outer layer of 75% copper and 25% nickel bonded to an inner core of pure copper. This produces its familiar silvery sheen on the surface while retaining a reddish core visible along the coin's reeded edge. The coin weighs 5.67 grams, measures 24.3 millimeters in diameter, and has a thickness of approximately 1.75 millimeters. Its edge features 119 reeds, providing both tactile texture and a measure of anti-counterfeiting design. The obverse, front, of the coin proudly features George Washington's left-facing bust, designed by John Flanagan. The portrait captures Washington's dignified features, his tied hair, prominent cheekbones, and calm, resolute expression. Above the portrait appears the word Liberty, boldly arched across the top of the coin. Just below Washington's chin is the national motto, "In God We Trust," a standard inscription on U.S. coinage symbolizing faith and national identity. Beneath the bust at the bottom appears the date, 1978, flanked by the small D mint mark, which identifies the Denver Mint as the coin's place of origin. The reverse, back, of the coin carries the majestic bald eagle design, also by John Flanagan. The eagle is shown with outstretched wings standing atop a bundle of arrows, a traditional symbol of military strength and preparedness. Below the arrows is an olive branch representing peace, balance, and America's aspiration for harmony. Above the eagle's head appears the national legend, United States of America, while the Latin motto, E pluribus unum, out of many one, is inscribed just below the legend. At the bottom, the denomination, quarter dollar, completes the reverse design, signifying its face value of 25 cents. The Denver Mint, located in Colorado, produced this coin with a mintage of approximately 313,092,000 pieces, over 313 million quarters. This high mintage ensured that the 1978 D quarter became a common circulation coin across the United States. The Denver facility was known for its precision and efficiency in minting large quantities of coinage for everyday use. The mint mark D appears just to the right of Washington's ponytail ribbon, a small but crucial identifier for collectors, distinguishing it from the Philadelphia issue, which bore no mint mark in 1978. Although 1978 quarters were intended for circulation rather than collection, a small number of proof coins were struck at the San Francisco Mint's mint mark, using specially polished dies and planchets. However, the Denver Mint only struck circulation coins, not proofs. Uncirculated specimens from Denver, when found in pristine condition with full mint luster, are highly valued by collectors seeking to complete their Washington quarter date and mint set. From a historical perspective, the 1978 D quarter reflects a transitional time in U.S. coinage. The nation had fully adjusted to clad coinage following the end of silver quarters in 1964, and the bicentennial coinage, 1976, had recently concluded. The 1978 issue thus returned to the traditional eagle design after the temporary bicentennial drummer boy reverse, restoring the familiar look Americans had known for decades. Economically, the late 1970s were a time of inflation, oil crises, and social change, yet the quarter remained a dependable coin for commerce, vending, and daily life, in terms of Strike-quality Denver minted quarters from the late 1970s often exhibit sharp details, particularly in Washington's hair curls and the eagle's feathers. However, weak strikes do exist, especially around the eagle's breast area and Washington's cheek, where was common. Collectors seeking top-grade specimens, MS66 or higher, look for coins with bright untinted luster, no contact marks, and full feather detail. The design legacy of the Washington quarter is immense. It became one of the longest-running coin designs in U.S. history, lasting unchanged from 1932 until 1998, when it was replaced by the 50-state quarters program in 1999. Thus, the 1978 D quarter represents one of the final 2 decades of the original Flanagan design before America's quarters began showcasing each state's unique heritage. The Denver Mint, where this coin was produced, was established in 1906, succeeding the earlier Denver Assay Office. It has long been one of the main production centers for circulating U.S. coinage. Coins from this mint are known for their bright luster and strong strikes compared to Philadelphia issues of the same era. Each 1978 D quarter began as a copper planchet mechanically cut and then layered with nickel. The planchets were annealed, heated, cleaned and struck under immense pressure, approximately 150 tons, using hardened steel dies engraved with the Washington and eagle designs. The metallic composition of copper-nickel-clad coins gives them impressive durability. Unlike silver, nickel resists tarnish and can endure decades of circulation without significant corrosion. Many 1978 D quarters remain in fine to extra fine condition even after decades of use, making them common but enduringly attractive to collectors who appreciate their historical and aesthetic qualities. In collector markets, the 1978 D quarter is widely available. Circulated examples typically hold face value, but uncirculated examples in mint state, MS 65-67 grades, can command modest premiums. As of 2025 market data, certified MS67 coins can sell between $40 and $80, while ultra-gem specimens graded MS68 are exceptionally rare and can fetch over $500 at major auctions. Such grades require perfect surfaces, original mint brilliance, and sharp full details. Error varieties exist as well, including off-center strikes, clipped planchets, and die cracks, all of which can significantly increase value depending on severity. Next, the 1979 D quarter dollar from the United States of America is a classic piece of modern American coinage that belongs to the Washington quarter series, a design first introduced in 1932 to commemorate the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth. The coin was minted at the Denver Mint as indicated by the D mint mark located on the obverse front side, just to the right of Washington's hair tie. The 1979 D quarter was one of the many coins struck during the late 20th century that continued the long-standing tradition of American coinage featuring national heroes and enduring patriotic symbols. The coin is made of a clad composition, consisting of an outer layer of 75% copper and 25% nickel bonded to a pure copper core. This composition gives the coin its signature silvery shine while maintaining strength and durability for circulation. The coin has a diameter of 24.26 mm, a thickness of 1.75 mm, and a weight of 5.67 grams, with a reeded edge consisting of finely milled grooves around the rim. This design was introduced in 1965 when silver was removed from quarters to prevent hoarding, marking a shift from earlier 90% silver coins to the current copper-nickel-clad coins that remain in use today. On the obverse side, the coin features the portrait of George Washington, the first President of the United States. Designed by sculptor John Flanagan, Washington is depicted facing left, his expression dignified and calm, reflecting his status as a symbol of leadership and liberty. Above the portrait appears the word liberty, while the motto "In God We Trust" is inscribed to the left. Below Washington's bust is the date 1979, and just beside it the D mint mark identifying the Denver Mint. This obverse design has remained largely unchanged since its debut, serving as one of the most iconic and enduring depictions in U.S. coinage history. The reverse side of the coin features a majestic bald eagle with its wings spread wide, perched upon a bundle of arrows, symbolizing strength and readiness to defend the nation. Beneath the eagle are 2 olive branches representing peace. Above the eagle, the inscription, United States of America, arches along the rim, while the national motto, E pluribus unum, meaning out of many one, is written just above the eagle's head. The denomination, quarter dollar, appears at the bottom. This powerful design also comes from John Flanagan, combining simplicity, symbolism, and patriotism in a timeless composition that has represented America's values for decades. The 1979 D quarter was minted in large numbers as it was intended for wide public circulation throughout the United States. The total mintage at the Denver Mint was approximately 489,780 coins, making it one of the higher mintages of the decade. Because of this, the coin is relatively common in circulated condition and still appears in pocket change today, though finding uncirculated or proof-like examples with a clean lustrous surface is more challenging. Collectors often seek well-preserved coins with full strike details, minimal bag marks, and sharp eagle feathers on the reverse. From a historical perspective, the 1979 D Washington quarter was issued during the presidency of Jimmy Carter, a time when the U.S. was undergoing economic challenges, including inflation and rising energy costs. Despite these difficulties, the United States Mint continued its role in producing durable and precise coinage for daily commerce. The quarter, as the second highest value circulating coin, played a vital role in everyday transactions, from vending machines and parking meters to public telephones and small purchases, making it a cornerstone of the American economy. In the world of numismatics, the 1979 D quarter holds importance as a representative of late 20th century clad coinage. While not rare, it is valued for its place in the evolution of U.S. quarters, linking the pre-statehood Washington design to the later commemorative and state series launched in 1999. Collectors often include it in full Washington quarter date and mintmark sets that span decades of American minting history. When it comes to value, most circulated 1979 D quarters are worth face value, 25 cents. However, uncirculated examples graded MS 65 or higher by professional grading services like PCGS or NGC can be valued between $5 and $15 depending on luster and strike quality. Exceptional specimens with deep, brilliant mint luster and no contact marks may fetch even higher prices among serious collectors. Additionally, a few rare mint errors such as off-center strikes, die cracks, and double die obverse varieties have been discovered for the 1979 D issue. Such coins can command significant premiums, sometimes reaching $100 or more depending on severity and condition. The design continuity of the 1979 D quarter links it directly to America's historical heritage. The coin honors George Washington's leadership during the Revolutionary War and his presidency, symbolizing the enduring values of independence, resilience, and unity. The eagle's presence reinforces America's strength and freedom, while the inscriptions, "In God We Trust," and "E Pluribus Unum," serve as moral and national reminders of faith and unity in diversity. The Denver Mint, where this coin was struck, played a crucial role in maintaining the circulation supply across the western and central United States. Founded in 1906, the Denver facility was known for producing coins of high quality marked by the D mint mark. During 1979, advanced coining technology and quality controls allowed for consistent production of millions of quarters daily, ensuring smooth distribution through banks and Federal Reserves. From a technical standpoint, the coin's reeded edge contains 119 tiny grooves, an anti-counterfeiting measure that dates back to early Utes coinage when it prevented shaving precious metals from silver coins. Though the 1979 quarter was made of copper-nickel, the tradition was kept as a nod to historic coin designs. The aesthetic appeal of the 1979 D Washington quarter lies in its simplicity and balance. The clean symmetrical obverse featuring Washington's portrait contrasts beautifully with the dynamic reverse eagle design. Collectors often appreciate the coin's bold relief and its ability to retain detail even after years of circulation. High-quality examples can exhibit mirror-like brilliance and frosted devices, especially those found in mint sets. Next, the 1985 D United States quarter dollar is part of the long-running Washington quarter series. A foundational coin of modern American currency, T was struck at the Denver Mint, denoted by the small D mint mark found on the obverse side of the coin just to the right of George Washington's ponytail. This coin, though produced in the hundreds of millions, represents an important chapter in U.S. coinage history, one that bridges the gap between the traditional pre-statehood quarters and the more modern collectible issues that followed in the late 20th and early 21st centuries. The Washington quarter was first introduced in 1932, designed to commemorate the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth. Its creator, John Flanagan, was a talented sculptor whose work was chosen after a national design competition. The obverse design was based on the famous 1786 bust of Washington created by French sculptor Jean-Antoine Houdon, widely regarded as the most accurate likeness of the first president of the United States. Over time, the coin evolved from a one-year commemorative issue into a permanent fixture of American currency, maintaining its place in circulation for decades. By 1985, the Washington quarter had been in continuous production for over 50 years, symbolizing national identity and stability through changing times. The coin minted that year was struck in copper-nickel-clad composition, a shift that had been implemented 2 decades earlier in 1965 after the rising price of silver made the older 90% silver coins too expensive for daily commerce. The 1985 D quarter therefore belongs to the modern-clad era of U.S. coinage, which emphasized practicality, durability, and mass production efficiency. In terms of physical specifications, the 1985 D quarter has a diameter of 24.26 millimeters, a thickness of 1.75 millimeters, and a weight of 5.67 grams. It is composed of an outer layer of 75% copper and 25% nickel bonded to a pure copper core, giving it its characteristic silvery white color on the surface with a faint reddish hue visible along the reeded edge. The edge is reeded with approximately 119 ridges, a design feature originally introduced centuries ago to prevent shaving or clipping of precious metal coins. Though no longer necessary for economic reasons, the reeded edge remains as a traditional and aesthetic element. The obverse, front, features a left-facing bust of George Washington modeled in neoclassical style. His expression conveys calm determination, symbolizing leadership, courage, and unity, qualities deeply rooted in American identity. Above his head, the word "Liberty" is boldly inscribed, a constant reminder of the nation's founding principles. To the left, near Washington's throat, appears the national motto, "In God We Trust," reaffirming the spiritual and moral foundation of the United States. At the bottom of the obverse, the year of minting, 1985, is prominently displayed. To the right of Washington's ponytail is the small letter D, representing the Denver Mint where this coin was produced. On the reverse, back, of the coin, the powerful image of an American bald eagle dominates the design. The eagle, wings spread in a majestic pose, grips a bundle of arrows in its talons, symbolizing the nation's readiness to defend its freedom. Beneath the arrows lies an olive branch representing peace. This delicate balance of peace and strength is a central theme in American symbolism. Above the eagle, in bold capital letters, arcs the inscription, United States of America. Just below it is the Latin motto, E pluribus unum, meaning, out of many one, a phrase reflecting the unity of diverse states and peoples into a single nation. The denomination, quarter dollar, is inscribed at the bottom, clearly indicating the coin's face value of 25 cents. The Denver Mint, where this coin was struck, has a long and distinguished history. Located in Denver, Colorado, it began operations as a branch of the U.S. Mint in 1906 and has since been one of the primary producers of American circulating coinage. The mint mark D has come to symbolize coins known for their strong, crisp strikes and brilliant luster. In 1985, the Denver Mint produced a total of 519,962,888 Washington quarters, over 500 million coins, making this issue one of the most common quarters of the era. Despite its high mintage, the 1985 D remains an interesting study piece for collectors who specialize in clad-era mint varieties and die quality differences. During the 1980s, the United States Mint was improving its technology and quality control systems. This was a time before the state quarters program and minting operations focused on producing high-quality circulation coins. However, minor die varieties, weak strikes, and planchet flaws occasionally occurred. Some 1985 D quarters exhibit light strike weakness in Washington's hair curls and the eagle's breast feathers, due to worn dies from heavy production runs. Yet, when found in pristine condition with sharp details, bright satiny luster, and no contact marks, these coins are prized by collectors seeking high-grade examples. The metallic composition of the copper-nickel-clad quarter was designed for long-term resilience. Unlike silver coins, which tarnish and tone with time, the nickel surface resists corrosion, allowing the 1985 D quarter to remain bright even after decades in circulation. However, circulation wear can smooth Washington's cheek, the eagle's wings, and the reading along the edge, common features for coins that have passed through countless hands over the years. And mint sets, the 1985 D quarter appeared as part of the official U.S. Mint uncirculated coin set, packaged with its Philadelphia counterpart and other denominations of the same year. Coins in these sets often display stronger luster and fewer marks, as they were not released for general circulation. Collectors value such mint set examples for their sharp detail and mint brilliance, which make them superior to coins pulled from pocket change. There were no proof coins bearing the D mint mark in 1985, as proofs were exclusively struck at the San Francisco Mint, identified by the S mint mark. Those proof coins were produced using polished dies and planchets, resulting in mirror-like fields and frosted devices. However, the Denver issue was strictly circulation quality, though many uncirculated examples remain available to collectors today. In numismatic grading, circulated 1985 D quarters generally range from very fine, VF, to about uncirculated, AU, condition depending on wear. Uncirculated examples, mint state, are graded on the Sheldon scale from MS60 to MS70. Common grades like MS63, MS65 are affordable and easily found, but superb gems graded MS67 or higher are much rarer due to the challenge of finding coins free from contact marks and bag abrasions. Certified MS-67 coins can fetch between $50 and $150, while near-perfect MS-68 examples are exceedingly rare, sometimes commanding over $500, $1,000 in auctions depending on eye appeal and strike quality. Error coins add an additional layer of intrigue to the 1985 D issue. Collectors have identified off-center strikes, clipped planchets, double die obverse, and die cracks, though most are minor. Dramatic off-center errors or broad strikes can sell for many times the face value, as such minting mistakes are scarce for Denver issues of this era given the mint's tight quality control. From a historical and cultural perspective, the 1985 D quarter reflects a nation in transition, still rooted in traditional design, but approaching the technological and artistic revival of the coming state. Thanks for watching my videos. Please subscribe my channel for more videos.